So I'll start the session now. Let's talk about IELTS again. So yesterday I have left some of the topics behind so that I will continue to today. So I'll have a quick session of what happened yesterday and I'll go through the topics of today also. I'll be a little about myself. I am Ashwant from Accenture as a software engineer for past 3 years and I'm also an alumni of Panimala Engineering College. So I also did my IELTS 2 years back. I'm also planning for abroad studies. Let's start the session. So what is IELTS? Yesterday I explained something about that. It is just an entrance exam which you need to take if you are interested in higher studies like MS or even undergraduate education. Also, it is possible if you write IELTS. So many universities are accepting IELTS as the entry level requirement. Based on the marks you have scored in IELTS, they will be electing you as a candidate there. And the marks is based on the performance which you did in IELTS. So I will be going through the basic topics which you need to know before writing an IELTS exam. So IELTS is commonly accepted in most of the countries like UK, Australia, New Zealand, USA, and Canada, and like the English speaking nations, and also in some of the European countries where you can apply for your abroad studies. The IELTS is mainly used to measure your abilities to test your English skills like listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So you'll be having each and every session as a separate module, and you need to score. You need to participate in all the sessions, and you need to score as much as possible in each of the sessions. The marks, overall marks, will be obtained based on the mark based on the average you got in all the four of the segments. What are the prerequisites of IELTS? So you need to have a valid passport and a national ID card, such as Aadhaar, to participate in an IELTS. Passport is must, so you need to take passport before enrolling into an IELTS, and you should be at an age of above 16. So these are the highlights of IELTS. You can always go visit IELTS official website in ielts.org and the popular countries as I mentioned, and also it is conducted by two official parties. So they both are authorized test centers at which you can take part: British Council and IDP Education Limited. So both are similar. You can take whatever institution you want. So mode of exams will be computer based as well as pen and paper. So computer based, you have to attend the exams through computers, and pen and paper it is a traditional way of writing the answers, which you will be you are used to it. And IELTS fees is 14,000 for registration. So you can take n number of IELTS exams as much as you want to boost up your scores. So for each time you have to pay 14,000 rupees whenever you take part in IELTS exam. So it was 13,600 before, and now it is increased to 14,000. So year by year, the rate of registration keeps on increasing. So IELTS marks is based on score ranges based on level 1 to 9. So which will be the 1 will be the lowest and 9 will be the highest mark. So the minimum requirement will be 6 to 6.5 for most of the universities. So whenever you get high marks like 7, 8, you will be guaranteed a placement in a well-reputed institutions. And these are the brands, each brands which represents your quality in IELTS exam, which is measured based on the test you took. So band 9 will be an expert user, so we will be which is the highest band you will be getting in IELTS exam if you perform well. And based on the performance, you will be rated as band 8, 7, 7.5, 6, 6.5 there also. So next one is IELTS versus TOEFL. So both plays a major role in both. Anyone is fine. Like you can take IELTS or a TOEFL to get into a university, whichever university you want. So most of the universities will be accepting either IELTS or TOEFL score. So it is up to you to decide as a test taker. You can decide whatever exams you need to participate. It is also fine. Both are for the same objective, so no need to worry about whether I should take an IELTS or TOEFL. But if you are going to apply for a country-specific universities like US or Canada, go for TOEFL. It will be most preferred there. Even you can also apply for a US and to Canada with the help of IELTS exam scores also. So only difference is, as far as I noticed, it is the marking system. So will be marked as 0 to 9, and TOEFL will be from 0 to 120 marks. And there is a cancellation fees for IELTS also. So you can cancel the registered exams which you due to some personal emergencies. You can always cancel, but only criteria is it should be before 5 weeks of the test date. So you can the IELTS exam 3 months before also. So if you want to cancel due to some emergency, you can always cancel before the 5 weeks of the test exams start date. So if at all it crossed 5 weeks later, so you will not be getting any refund amount. And if you also fail to appear in the test, it is also considered as it will not be refunded. Money will not be refunded. So you can also claim with the medical certificate if you have any medical emergencies. And you can also reschedule the date whichever you already registered for. So whenever you are registering IELTS exam, they always suggest you 4 dates, 4 specific dates in a month, which you need to be aware of. So if at all if something emergency happens, you can always reschedule the date which you have already inputted. So you can reschedule the date, but it is also the same criteria. It should be before 5 weeks of the start date, and make sure the next reschedule date lies within 3 months of the start date, which you already given. And also, if you are rescheduling it, it will cost 3,300 for their administrative charges. So next one is IELTS exam results. So how long it will take for result to get in your hands? You don't need to have to wait a long time like this. It's just within 13 days from the date you took part the exam. So it is a good thing. Like you will be getting results as soon as within a fortnight. So if you took part in a pen and paper based exam, it will take 15 or 13 days. And if you are having a good time in computer based also, you will be receiving as soon as possible, like within 5 to 7 days. So always, my personal suggestion is that you can always take part in a pen and paper based exam, so it will be more convenient, uh, as we already as we have lots of experience in that only. So computer based will also be fine. So only advantage with computer based exam is that you can always attend a computer based whatever time you want. It will be happening all the 24 all day a month. So it's up to you to decide whichever mode you want. And this will be the report card of IELTS exam. So whenever you took part in IELTS exam, this report card will be sent to you through couriers, which will be receiving within 20 days from the start date. So how many times you are writing an IELTS exam, that will not be a issue. So whenever you are writing IELTS exam, you will be receiving this report card. So if you are writing 2 to 3 times, you will be receiving 2 3 copies with 2 different test form reports like this, which will be sent to you through couriers. So whenever you took part in IELTS exam, it has some expiry date. Like it will be expiring within after 2 years. So if you took part in IELTS exam, you can apply for universities 2 years from that. So whenever the test date is declared, from that date you have 2 years to apply for the universities, whichever universities you want, you can always apply for that. And there are two types of IELTS exam, like IELTS academic and general training. For academic is only for, meant for postgraduate students and undergraduate students. Like us, if you're planning for an abroad study, IELTS academics is the best way to do so. Whenever you are planning for studies, IELTS academics will always help you to get a eligibility criteria to get into a well-reputed university. IELTS general training is meant for people who wants to migrate or who wants to search for a job there in abroad. They can go for IELTS training. So this session is always as far as this session is concerned, I'll be concentrating more on IELTS academic, which I took part in. So general training also, you can always browse through the internet to get more knowledge about IELTS general training. So this is IELTS academic training. Whichever so candidates who are interested in applying for higher education, they can apply for IELTS academic exam. The fee is the same, but the syllabus inside IELTS academic and general may vary. Only few parts may vary for IELTS academic as well as general. So the main purpose of this education is to of this exam is to judge the candidate whether he is ready to train and study in English language whenever he is moving to abroad. Maybe some of the students may start their curriculum with their mother tongue, like Tamil, Telugu, and all. So this IELTS exam will make sure that candidate is eligible to study their materials in English, so they can cope up with the post duration also. Most of the countries which is widely accepted in for IELTS score is US, UK, Canada, as well as you can always update for Northern European countries like Sweden, Netherlands, like that also. So IELTS general training is, as far as the general training is concerned, the person who is looking to migrate to some of the universities may took part in IELTS general training. Like this is just a general training as a general test for most of the universities to just to know that most of the countries just to know that you are eligible to speak English. So whenever you are migrating from some countries to another, where English is a major communication language, you need to take an IELTS general exam so that you can prove that I'm eligible to talk, read, and write English as a language, so that they can cope up with the so that they can socialize as well as they can cope up with the workplace environment also. So this exam focuses on the survival skills of the candidate in broad social and workplace environment. So for the students of your kind, you may not be needing this much of details for general training. So always concentrate on IELTS academic. So here's the highlight of IELTS academic training and the question patterns of what on the parts will be there and how the exams will be conducted. So there will be a listening part, so where you need to score four recorded monologues and conversations. So monologues will be a narration narrated by a single speaker. He will be narrating some stories. Based on the stories he narrated, you have to answer the questions which are given in the question paper. And conversation is more like a general conversation, like two persons will be speaking or more than two people will be speaking. So you need to infer the data and you need to understand everything whatever they say and answer the questions as given in the question paper. So it carries four different parts and it will take 30 minutes, around 30 minutes. So 20 minutes will be the audio time and the audio will be played only once. So you need to be focused on whatever they say. Try to practice listening to English stories and all before going to write an IELTS exam. So with the 30 minutes, within the 30 minutes, they are going to test your English spelling skills based on the answers you are giving. So for coming to reading, there will be three different long passages with there will be three different long passages with the tasks. So the task ranges from descriptive to factual things which you need to read through the entire reading comprehension questions answer them according to the questions given next to that. So I'll be having 60 minutes for this also. The questions will be 40 questions you need to attend. So try to read the, don't try to read entire context of the reading comprehension given. So try to read the questions and understand what they are needing and focus more on the answer part also only. So you will be having reading, you will be having too much struggle there initially. So you have to take practice as much as you want. You needed to. So most of the reading text will be taken from books, journals, and newspapers from expert writers. So the vocabulary in reading will be too much high when you are at an initial stage. You might feel difficult. So doing too much of practice with reading comprehensions, you might able to crack the reading exams also. Coming to the writing will be also at two parts. So one will be an analytical writing where you will be given a chart, graph or pie chart like that. So you have to infer the data from that within that, and you need to compare what all the data and what all the comparisons you can infer from the charts. You need to write down the points within 150 words. Like you can always go exceed 150 words, but should be at least 150 words. And the next part will be in a general essay. So general essay is like a general topic you will be given, and you must try to at least form a 250 words of conversation. Like you need to have an entire idea of what is there, what is given in the question. You need to have an argument, and you need to have a discussion with yourself and try to give as much as suggestions you can, and try to conclude with a good suggestion also. And coming to speaking will be a face-to-face interview with short questions. Speaking at length about familiar topics and structured discussions only. Like in it is speaking test will be considered as an interview process, just like a normal interview how it is conducting. So you will be facing an interviewer who will be asking you some questions, and you need to answer the questions in English also. So they will be they it the duration of this exam will be around 10 to 15 minutes. So within that 15 minutes, they will be asking lots of questions, which I'll be give the sample questions also at the end of the session. You can practice the questions. You can also Google whatever the questions will be given. Like they will be having a set of predefined questions which you need to attend. So try to practice as much as speaking you with your friends. If you struggle a lot, even I struggle a lot before going to write an IELTS exam, and also I have failed in the first attempt also. So in a second attempt, the I managed to score as much as mark I needed to get into an university also. So let's talk about brief. Let's, let's talk about reading section in brief. So reading will be carried out, writing. So writing will be carried out with two tasks. One will be an analytical writing and one will be general writing. So task one will be an analytical writing, which you need to take part, and you should at least write on 50 words. The candidates will be asked to look at the diagram, tables and charts and all. With lots of data will be there, and you need to infer the data, and you need to make comparisons with the data. I'll show the sample of how the data will be looking like and how you can formulate the answer with that. And the task two will be a general essay of 250 words. At least you should write 250 words. And whenever you are writing a passage, try to use much vocabularies which they will be looking at. So a good vocabulary may also boost your score. Also, so concentrate to write as much vocabularies you want. So the second task will be all about your point of view, and you have to argument related to the problem whichever given, and you need to provide a general factual information to that. So based on the experience you have with that related topic, you can also provide an examples based on the situation you come across in your life. It will also be a good boost to your score whenever you giving your exact situation like that. So evaluate the ideas and evidence whichever you with the topic relevance given given to you. So the writing test will also be 60 minutes. So you need to concentrate more on R2s as it carries more weightage, like 250 words is more in compared to 150 words. So you need to manage the time according to that. Try to write more and more reports from the data you get. You try to get more and more practice with the sample testers given in online. Try to browse more and more questions of ILDS questions for writing and try to write more and more reports. It will also gain your experience for writing. So in writing, you need to look at for analyze. In writing task one, you need to look up for these two. Analyze the data. You should also organize the materials. Analyzing the data as the data, whatever data they are giving, you need to analyze the data with a precise thing. Like you should not give a false data from the report whichever given. It will reduce your mark considerably also. So try to mark or note the comparisons whichever you are making with the charts given, and you need to organize your materials like the logical order will be followed. It should be followed like so. They also be looking at the order whichever you are writing. You should not distract from the topic whichever you are writing. So try to make as much as paragraph you want. So a good writer should always make a different paragraph to make it more readable also. So this kind of questions will be asked in writing task one. So people going from rural to urban areas for the different nations is given based on the years. The total number of people in millions is also given in y-axis. So based on this chart, you need to infer more and more data, and you have to write for 150 words. Try to use more and more analytical words like gradually increase, drastically increase, exponential growth, and gradual growth at its peak, and one third of population, two-fifths of the population, and try to use more and more analytical words like outliers, insights, like that also. Will also increase your score considerably. So from this data, how you can say is that for Indonesia, it is only the peak value lies only in 20, right? So in for Russia, Russia and Iran, it is too high. So you can relate all these data and you can say, yeah, Indonesia is comparatively 10 times less than Iran, like that. You can infer more and more data related to that. So ILDS, as far as the ILDS writing is concerned, part one will be analytical writing. So part two, coming to part two, it will be a general topic like education, family, food. Like you can always manage to write whatever topic you want. It is not like you should know this. You should know this technical stuff like C, Java, C++. Nothing like that. Whoever can write an ILTS exam, irrespective of their education. So even a law student can write an ILTS exam. Even a doctor can write an ILTS exam. Even a civil engineer can also write an ILTS exam. So it is always a general topic which you will be getting. It's related to general education, your family, and food and diet, health, sports and exercise, technology, like that. Just look at the topic given. So ILTS writing task two will be given like this. People who cause their own illness through unhealthy lifestyle and poor diet should have to pay more for their health care. It is just a general topic. It is related to our health, right? So you will be getting lots of general topic like this. So you need to agree or disagree the statement, and you need to give your point of view related to this agreement. So this passage should contain your justification, and you should always use more and more connecting words like although, even though, eventually, like that. It will also gain more and more marks. with the type of reading, and you need to make at least 3 to 4 paragraph for 2 keywords. A good writer should always try to make a paragraph based on their based on the readability. Also, they will be allocating marks, and try to include more and more vocabularies here. Also, try to practice more and more vocabularies for common words like a large, an example like that. So before going to write an ILTS writing, you should know more and more vocabulary words, which will gain you more marks. So going to ILTS reading, reading will be having 3 complete reading comprehension questions, where you need to read 3 complete paragraphs written given to you. Most of them are taken from journals and books also. So the vocabularies will be high. You need to cope up with vocabularies also. Understand the question given with each part and try to manage your time. So you will be lagging time in this part of exam also. So question types will be multiple choice, sentence formation, like summary completion, or identify a short answer questions, and matching list, and identify writer's view. So identifying a writer's view will be a tricky one. You need to understand the passage given, and you need to understand how the writer feels about the passage. And there will be multiple choice like yes or no, and not given like that. So that is also a tricky one. You need to look at that context with full focus. So you need to answer whether the data is given or not given, and you need to answer accordingly. Reading is also having 60 minutes time, so you need to manage to read entire 3 set of passages within 60 minutes, and also to write complete the answers as soon as possible. So managing a time will be crucial in reading. You can always manage timing in listening, speaking, and writing also. Only thing you will be having trouble with this is reading. So listening will be an easiest one with all 4 parts. You will be given a headset, and you will be listening to a monologues or conversations which are predefined, and you will be having a question related to that. So you need to focus on whatever they are saying, and you need to attend the questions based on that. So the first 2 conversations will be like there will be 4 sessions in reading. The first 2 conversations will be a social needs, concerned about the social needs, and it will be around 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes long. So first 2 parts of the segment is too much easy for you. So don't try to lose your concentration on first 2 parts itself. Like the second 2 parts is the crucial one. Listening is the one we can able to score more marks. You can even score nine out of 9 in listening. And whenever you are focusing lots on listening, you will be getting a more marks in overall. Whenever you are having an average, you will be getting more marks. So conversation can be a monologue or a dialogue. So monologues will be a person who will be narrating a situation. The dialogues will be having two to three members. There will be conversation. The conversation will be recorded and it will be played to you. So this conversation will be only heard once, not twice. So you need to note down the answers whenever they are speaking. And even a spelling mistake can cause your marks. So you need to be more careful on the spellings whichever you are writing. So this is also concerning about the question types, like there will be a multiple choice questions and short answer questions, not completion. Like there will be a sentence which will having lots of dashes, so you need to fill the gaps with the conversation which you are hearing. For listening also, you need to have a lots of practice with the mock interviews like that. And whenever you're applying for an ILTS, they will be providing you with a study material to try to complete all of the courses in the study material. You will be eligible to. You will have lots of confidence after once you finish that practice material also. So listening will have an audio clip with the CD. You will be provided. So try to do as much as listening parts. which will gain your experience in listening part. And listening part session, as I said, session 1, 2 will be a social conversation, and 3 and 4 will be concentrating more on your education and training situation. So 3 and 4 will be a trickiest part here. You need to concentrate more on 3 and 4 rather than 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 will be a direct, straightforward answers. 3 and 4 you should be having a hard time facing it for the first time. So whenever you're practicing 3 and 4 sessions more and more, you will be getting more and more knowledges on that. To try to concentrate more on 3 and 4 as a personal suggestion. I'm saying that. So detailed explanation of 3 and 4 you can always Google that. Only the experiences will not be shown in the text materials also. Coming to ILTS speaking, so speaking will be having 3 sessions. Speaking will have a 3 sessions, like you will be having a structured interview process where the interviewer will be there, who will be asking you lots of questions within 10 to 15 minutes of time. So candidate is evaluated based on the answers they are providing. You can always use fillers like and whatever and how well you know, like that, like the fillers you can always use. It is also recommended to use the fillers like that, and you can always use vocabularies also. It will be helpful to score more marks in speaking also. So whenever you are trying to attend IELTS exam, it's good to know more and more vocabulary words, and you need to know more about social conversation. Like the interview should be like a person. It should not be like a job interview. Like you need to have lots and lots of technical stuff. It is not like that. You'll be having a general conversation with the interviewer with the general topics alone. So it will be like a two friends conversation only. You should not be concerned about what to say. Whatever you are saying is true, like that. Whatever you are saying is how you are saying the answers this matters the most. So try to concentrate more on your way of speaking rather than the true facts and all. You don't need to have any specific knowledge whenever you are taking part in IELTS. What is the only need is that you need to be good at English, and you need to practice a lot before going to an IELTS exam. Try to listen more and more audio clips in English. Try to read more and more books, which will help you in reading part. And try to write as much as reports you see whenever you are seeing a report, like chart data like that. So speaking is like interview with only English as a main concept there. There will be 3 parts in interview. One is a personal interview, and second is a little speech, and third is a discussion. So personal interviews, like they'll be asking you personal questions like where are you from, how do you what are you doing, or whether you're studying or working, and tell me about your family, like that. Most of the things will be a personal interview. In personal interview, will be related to you only. So whatever you are answering, try to be more confident in whatever you are saying. There is nothing wrong to say to express whatever you feel, but try to express in a good manner. And the second one is a little speech. So you will be given 2 minutes of time to prepare for a topic which they are giving, and it is also a general topic, not a technical part. So general questions will be given. You need to form up an answer within 2 minutes of time, and you need to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Uh, be 1 to 2 minutes with whatever questions relevant, whatever question you got, which is relevant. And the third one will be a discussion. You will be having a debate like conversation. They will be posting you some questions like, do you agree or not, like that question. So you need to agree or disagree to the statement, and you need to explain why you did that. So only these parts will be in your interview, and the speaking part will carry only for 11 to 14 minutes. So the entire conversation will be recorded, and the marks will be rewarded as the way as marks will be rewarded as you answer the questions the way you have answered the questions. So like the question for session one of speaking will be like that, like this one. So do you enjoy your studies like that? And have you ever been late to your work or colleges like that? So it will be more, it will concentrate more on your personal view only. So whatever question, whatever answers you are giving, try to be bold and confident and try to say the facts that you come across. So it will also be a boost to you. So this personal interview will be carrying out for 4 to 5 minutes. So based on the time, based on the answers you are giving, the time for the personal interview it keeps on increasing. So whenever you give a short answers to everything, the number of questions will be more and more. They need to fill up the gap for 4 to 5 minutes with the number of questions they have and the time for response from you. So you need to give at least 10 to 15 seconds of answers so that they can come up with a solution, come up with an idea that you can able to manage whatever situation that you come across. And the second one is a little speech. So it is so the questions will be like this only. They'll be giving you a card and they'll also be providing you a notes and pencil. You can take notes with the 2 minutes of given time with the relevant question. So here the question is like describe a place which you like to visit. It is as simple as it is as simple like it is only a general topic which is relevant to you only. So you can always choose whatever place you want to visit, and you can always say why you want to visit and where it is located, and when you want to go and how who it's with who and all you want to go. Like the questions will be also be printed in the answer card, question card. So you need to take up notes for that whichever topic you want to speak, and based you by seeing the notes also you can able to come up with a solution. Like you can express the little speech for at least 1 to 2 minutes. They'll be stopping you if you exceed 2 minutes also. So don't worry, you can always try to speak for how much time you need. You can always speak up. So this will carry for 2 to 3 minutes. So the third part will be concerning on the discussion. So based on the second part which you receive, the third part will be coming. So based on the second part, the discussion will carry over. There you so we'll be talking about the places you visited, right? So the third part will be like that. So how important do you think if young people to visit different places? So it will be relevant to places and concern. Like so you need to have a broad-minded answer. So you need to either agree or disagree for the points whichever they are posting you, and you need to have a conversation with them as much as you like to go. Like this part is concerned, you will take 5 to 6 minutes to answer whatever questions they are posting, and you need to have a logical solution to whatever you say. It should not be like a generalized opinion. It should be specific. So since it is a discussion, they will be expecting you to provide you as a on the, providing you a good suggestion to that extent, to that questions whatever they are posting, and it should be more like a debate only. So have you? Most of you guys will be watching me and Anna, like so. It should be like that. One will be giving you a question, and you need to agree or disagree to the points whatever they say, and you need to show what is the pros and cons of whatever arguments they are posting you. So after 5 to 6 minutes of discussion, the interview will be over. So they will be recording you the entire 15 minutes of your conversation. Based on the recorded audio, they will be providing you the marks. So as far as the IELTS concerned, these are the topics which you need to be prepared for, and even you will be having lots and lots of questions for regarding IELTS also. So there is lots and lots to know about IELTS. When apart from the syllabus of IELTS concern, you need to have lots and lots of knowledge. You need to have a good academic score as well. The universities, whichever you are choosing, will not only see a ELTS score. It is also one of the barriers which you need to come across when you want to study in an abroad in a well-reputed university. So as far as IELTS is concerned, these are the things which you need to know before going to write an IELTS exam. So there is lots and lots of things you need to come across after writing an IELTS exam and scoring a good marks in that also. You need to have a good academic score. If you have a list of areas, it will reduce your possibilities of getting into a reputed university. Even if you have a list of areas, that is not a problem. You may able to get into a university, but the only thing is the probability will be reduced. So if a student who is not having a list of areas, they'll be having good possibilities of entering into one university. And you need to always follow. Um, you need apart from IELTS and academics, you need to write SOP like statement of purpose, like describing you entire you from the start, how you got into universities and why you got interested in specific domain knowledge. So for MS course, if you are writing, why do you want to go to MS and what is the purpose of your studies? What is the purpose you want to pursue when you apply for university like that? So there is a lot to know about statement of purpose, and there is a letter of recommendation from the staff whichever universities you studied previously. It is a letter of recommendation which you need to hold, and you need to have a good letter of recommendation, good statement of purpose, and as well as a good ILTS score with a combination of a good academic score as well. If you pass in a first class, it will always gain you more advantages for electing into a university, and you will be having high possibility of getting a scholarship also. So as far as IELTS is concerned, IELTS is just a small mountain which you need to come across if you are planning for abroad studies. Apart from IELTS, there is lots and lots of things you need to know. So you can always contact me for whatever doubts you have. I will be sharing you the phone numbers with the staff members here also, and also I will be sharing you my mail ID here. So you can always contact me in this mail ID and try to share as much as informations you got about IELTS everything. Like it will most of my friends right now, I studied with, most of them are studying abroad or doing abroad studies right now. So it is just you need to decide whatever path you want to take in your life. It will be a big step. So IELTS will help you in crossing the first step. So as far as IELTS concerned, these are the things you need to look up. So try to practice as much as possible. It will be the factor to get into a good IELTS score. So don't try to write an IELTS without getting prepared, since it is a general topic like that. You need to prepare as much as you need to give importance as much as it is an academic score also. So IELTS is not a joke. So take it seriously, because since it is only English, it is not like you can able to manage whatever things they are throwing into you. So as far as IELTS is concerned, try to practice a lot. Since from my personal experience and my friends' personal experience, I am saying that practice will make you an IELTS score even better. You can always take up how many number of times, it is not a matter. So try to get as much as possible, like average of 7.5 will be a good score to get into a well reputed university. If you score above 7.5, it will be a good factor for you. Like you will be getting an admission even in Harvard, Princeton, like that kind of colleges with a high rank profile colleges also. So um, you can always contact me, as I said. So I'll be doing my studies also. So you need to do lots and lots of research after doing IELTS score. After getting an IELTS score, you need to do lots and lots of research, and you need to look up your financial statements and your family barriers, family backgrounds, everything you need to look up. Hmm. And then IELTS, as far as IELTS is concerned, You need to practice it. That's the only key factor here in IELTS exam. So nothing new you need. That there is nothing new you need to know about IELTS. It is only just in English. So everything will be known to you. So just to try to do as much as practice as you can with your friends, and wherever you go, it will be a good thing to have an IELTS score. So apart from India, whenever you want to pursue your studies in abroad, IELTS will give you a good hand in getting placed in a well-reputed university there. So it is up to you to take part in IELTS exam or not. My personal opinion is that IELTS will be a good way to start your career after your college. After once your college is over, you need to look up for always we need to look for a better opportunities in the future and related to whatever course you wanted. Even if you want to pursue a specialized topic in computer science with the topics like networking, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, there is always a course specific whichever passion you have, you can always come up with a solution. And even IELTS is not restricted to only computer science courses also. You can you can always help out others like who are doing laws and and nursing courses. There's also a course for music, pop music also in abroad studies. So who is interested in musical background also, they can always apply for the courses like that also. And the only thing you need to know about abroad studies is that the financial statement much important, as well as the IELTS score and your academics. So since you are in college, you can always try to boost your scores, and it will always help you to get a well-reputed universities, and even a good academic score will get you a scholarship, which will be much helpful when you plan for an abroad studies. Since the scholarship is a major factor in most of the universities, it will be awarded to you based on academic score as well as IELTS score concerned. So that's it for the session. I'll be handing over the session to Karthikeyan sir. Sir.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you for your
Okay,
contribution.
sir.